Good afternoon. My name is Caitlin Myers. For this discussion video, I'm going to explain the difference between freedom and liberty in early Western civilizations. To understand the distinction between freedom and liberty, you have to first understand the word's meanings and origins. Liberty comes from the Latin word libertas, meaning freedom or the condition of a free person, from the word liber, meaning free. The term free, however, comes from the Proto-Germanic word freges, which means not in bondage or beloved. Both of these definitions sound similar, but the way they were used to change how they pertain to modern Western civilization came from several historical events. The Latin concept of liberty became popular in France and began being used in legal and political contexts, which resulted in the concept of civil liberties developing. This led to the original meanings being somewhat switched. The French Renaissance philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau further developed this concept in his writings on the social contract and on his discourse essays. In the social contract, Rousseau says that to renounce liberty is to renounce being a man, to surrender the rights of humanity and even its duties. For him who renounces everything, no indemnity is possible, for such renunciation is incompatible with man's nature. To remove all liberty from his will is to remove all morality from his acts. The idea that allowing liberty to be taken goes against human nature challenged those who read Rousseau's work to tie their identity to their pursuit of liberty. Another philosopher in early Western civilization that further developed this concept gave a varied take on liberty and freedom. This philosopher was named Cicero. In De Republica and De Libertas, Cicero defines liberty not merely as the absence of interference, but as non-domination, a state where citizens are protected from the arbitrary will of a master through the rule of law. He argues that true libertas requires a stable, mixed constitution, combining monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy that prevents any single group from exercising despotic power. During the American Revolution, these evolved ideas of freedom as innate rights and liberty as legal rights became core to the concepts of human rights within America. When the Declaration of Independence was written, Thomas Jefferson referenced Rousseau's sentiments and solidified the idea in the statement, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, therein, endowed by their Creator, with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." This meaning that all free men are entitled to liberty. As time went on, though, slavery became illegal throughout most of the world, and the practice of it became outlawed, by extension granting liberty to formerly enslaved peoples, which then included the statement being all men and not just free men. As time went on, this resulted in a definition of the belief changing further. With the women's suffragist movement, women gained rights, and this once again redefined the word, wherein men became a broader definition, meaning humanity and not solely the male gender, so that women could be included in these liberties. In modern America, we hold the concept now that all people are born free, thereby all being entitled to the same liberties or rights because of this. This essentially means that freedom equals equality, while liberty is merely your legal and social freedoms, which contain their own limitations and conditions. So freedom in America means you can do as you please, so long as you do not infringe on another person's liberties. So, we can see how these ideas evolved throughout early Western civilizations and how they changed. This largely affects how it currently stands within our own nation. I think it's very important to look at how this definition changed over time so that we can gain more of an appreciation of where we stand as a modern society and understand how we got to this point and why these ideas didn't mean the same things at different points in time. Thank you for listening to my presentation.